Hey guys, it's Jennifer from the Shooter's Mindset, and we are live with episode 410. We've got our co-host tonight, Corey. How's it going?
Really good. I won a couple matches this week.
Oh, normally it's just like I shot 3 matches. This time it's I won a couple matches.
I wanted to one up Greg.
What'd you win?
Yeah, what do you win?
Steel Challenge and USPSA.
Cool. Did you get a cool trophy?
No, but if you want, I'll show you the cool belt buckle.
You start hanging them on the wall behind you.
He likes it.
Yeah, no, I just had that out to show Mike earlier.
Our other co-host is with us tonight. Greg, how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. I did not win any match. I won a battle against a tree with an axe this weekend.
There you go. Well, I mean, I didn't drop any points all weekend, so.
And a girl.
Nice.
What did you shoot?
Nothing. But I didn't drop any points. All right. And our guest of the hour, who everyone really wants to hear from, they don't want to hear our banter, is Mike Sexton, our good friend. How's it going, Mike?
It's going good. Well, thank you for having me on. Look forward to talking and answering some questions tonight. And I did shoot a match this weekend and got second in gas gun open at the DMR match here. So I got a trophy too, Corey.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
Not bad for an old man.
You know, age is
Yeah,
just a
you
number.
shoot.
So for anybody that doesn't know you or is unfamiliar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into shooting, what you do?
That's, I've been around it a long time. That's a big story. I retired out of the Marine Corps 31 years ago and started shooting competitively when I got out of the Marine Corps. Shot USPSA and IDPA back in the day, and then three gun came along when it was Soldier of Fortune back in the 90s a little bit, and I kind of ventured over in it. And as they say, the rest is history. As you know, that's where I go to is three gun is my background. I've been doing that since 98, 99. And always ventured in the long range. Love it, just like that long range, doing it and making that steel ring. And ventured there and just kind of played around and shot all over the country and, met a lot of nice people and been around the sport a long time. So my background is, like I say, three gun, and I like to dabble in the not steel challenge, but the PCC a little bit every once in a while. But it's a lot of fun, and look forward to shooting with you guys soon sometime, I hope.
I think that's the most fun about this sport is traveling and going and seeing new places and meeting new people.
That's what we used to do. We used to go to places like Rock Castle and it was a parking lot party everywhere you went. The sport's changed a little bit. The sponsors have changed a little bit, but our sport it's a small world. You start talking about somebody or doing something, it's a small world, and you meet some really great people. And I don't know if I've met really a bad person in the shooting world yet. They've all been super and always trying to help and make everybody better and our sport grow.
Speaking of parking lot parties and old school matches, I've got a picture, and it's my favorite picture of a three gun match. It's me, Kurt Miller, Mike Rush, Mike Pinto, allegedly at 10:30 in the morning after fallen brethren, all drinking Shiner.
I know. Like to see those guys again, So, man, that's been a while.
Yeah, I think that was 2016, maybe 15.
Yeah, I hate the Rock's gone, because that's where it kind of central and everybody met out there. And, three guns kind of dropped off a little bit or stabilized more than anything. So PRS seems like it's the now growing thing, and, a bunch of good people in it. And they just don't like to party like the three gunners do.
Oh, that's not true.
I'm waiting for that. Where do I need to go? I'm going to Coleman Creek this weekend, so we'll see. I'm going up Saturday, so we're shooting Sunday up Coleman Creek. So we'll see if I can get them out.
You're hanging out. Roger's going up there. Roger likes to party.
Okay, there you go. Jason's up there too. He runs that range. I know he's ready to party.
It's funny. I still remember one time I was staying at the jankiest. I waited way too late to book my hotel. This place was disgusting, and I'm like locked in my room, and I hear some shenanigans outside, and I'm like listening. Those sound like my people. met some random dude I never met before, and his friends, and we were out drinking in this super crappy hotel parking lot until like midnight, and ended up squatted together the next day. And it's always fun how that happens.
It's true.
I-
It's good people.
I
Mhm.
shoot better with a hangover, you know.
There is no way that's true. I have
I
heard
know
that
somebody
before. There's
who's like
no
that.
way that's true.
It's aiming fluid, you know. You got to have some of that aiming fluid in your body. You know?
That's called water.
And bourbon.
So parties aside, if you shoot a lot of different genres, so partying aside, if you
Yeah.
had to pick one, and that's the only competition sport you could do, which one would you do?
3-gun. It's 3 times the fun with 3 different platforms. I mean, I like them all, don't get me wrong, but and 3-gun's my history. That's where I come from. It's just fun. It's the most fun you can have with your clothes on.
That is
What about 4-gun, Mike? What about this 2x4? You sneak that one in there?
I've never been a big fan of 2x4. Every time I go
Okay.
out west and shoot one of those, I always get confused. What am I supposed to shoot? I got a shotgun, I got a pistol, I got a rifle. Wait a minute. Do I got to take a 2x4 and whack a target, or what is 2x4? I don't know. So, what's happened to the traditional pistol rifle shotgun?
All right. All right. Well, so you're working at the Clinton house, Mike. So how
I'm
is
just
it?
not
How's it
familiar with
been?
Pete's 2x4. I've shot some of his matches, but I'm not that familiar with it.
Yeah, it's all good. So what all are you hosting out at the Clinton house now? You've got like 8 different disciplines out there.
Yeah, I mean, the Proving Grounds is doing some stuff out there. They're doing a DMR. They're doing a Proving Ground match, which is flip tires, do all that running with heavy stuff and all that. We've got, of course, PRS, Tommy Goodson, and I think he was on your show about a month ago. Tommy is running our match up here, the PRS match, and we've done 2, and both of them have been sold out with a wait list, 110 shooters. And
That's
we got one
great to
coming
hear.
up August the 4th. And Bill Jordan is now doing our PRS 22 the following day after the centerfire. So Saturday you can shoot centerfire, then Sunday you can shoot Bill Jordan's rimfire matches up there. And
So
it's
tell me
sold out.
about that. Greg does something similar, and I'm curious to get your perspective on the back-to-back format, the centerfire then rimfire. Has that been popular with y'all? And what's kind of the thought process on it?
Yes, I mean, what I'm hearing, we only done one that way so far, and what I'm hearing is the folks like it because they'll stay. A lot of people like staying with their buds, traveling with their buddies, and coming and shooting a centerfire, and waking up the next day and shooting a rimfire. And you get a whole weekend of fun, and it's not superly expensive to do that.
Right.
I shot both, and first time I shot both back to back was our match we just had. And boy, man, what a wind difference. You go from centerfire shooting a 6GT at 30-55 and you go shoot 22. I went from a half a mil wind to 5 mils of wind, I mean, so it was a learning curve for me to jump back and forth like that. But what I'm hearing is people like it. They're really liking it back and back.
Okay.
So, come and try
I'd love to.
I'm
Believe
going
me.
to talk you into one yet.
Add some more weekends, so I don't have to host 5 matches a month. You know what it's like, right?
Yeah, now we've got, talking about the Clinton House, Tommy's got another one in October, PRS in October, I believe it's 29th, I think. We've got the Fall Brawl 3-gun that Jason Byerly from North Carolina, Zoo City, will come down and host. And we also have
nice.
Donnie Flo's September, the Pro-Am, where they really match pros with amateurs and shoot a 3-gun match. We've got that down here. And of course, the big announcement, and I think everybody's aware of it now, the first weekend of December, we're hosting the Armageddon Cup, Tom Fuller and his team with the Armageddon Cup. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
Jen, y'all are going, right?
Huh?
Jen, y'all are going, right?
Yeah. The good thing about the Armageddon Cup is we're going to have 20 stages in the PRS range, and you guys have seen that, Greg. The Sunday stages, nobody will get to see them till Sunday. They're on a totally different piece of the property at Clinton House. So there's no seeing what you might shoot if you make the top 10. And that's what attracted Tom to bring it out here, is it'll be a total surprise to those guys on Sunday morning when they walk out there. So
I like it.
I think there's
What's-
been some interest in the PRS matches that are out there once that announcement was made. People might be doing their recon.
yeah, but we had 2 of their shooters out here this weekend, and or the last PRS match, and they found out that the Clinton House, where we put it, is very unique into our actual mile range crosses that, and you can get 3 different winds on one target, and that can change to the next target. And I've had a lot of the guys come up to me and say, you know, I can go out in Texas and shoot, and the wind blows one way all the time. I come here and this wind's just going every direction, every shot. I want to do a wind class here. Can I come and teach a wind class here? You know, so it's really going to be interesting for those guys.
So when you say you get 3 different winds because the range crosses, you're talking about cuts through like pines, and you've got 2 ranges cut like this, and you get some weird stuff happening in the middle.
Exactly. We got
Okay.
3 ridges, basically 3 ridges. You shoot on a ridge,
Uh-huh.
you know, you got another ridge in the middle, and then out to 1,100 yards is another ridge. So my mile range, because you know I do the mile there at the Clinton
Yep.
House once a month. It actually crosses that, and of course you got a mile that the wind can blow up a valley. So it's really, like I say, we got a place at about 950 yards from a couple of the bumps. We call it Heartbreak Ridge because anybody hardly ever gets to the 12-inch circle. You know, so,
That thing's
Those
12
mile
inches?
days.
Greg, you shot it.
Well, I shot the dirt next to the 12-inch circle for clarification.
So you know the wind changes, don't you?
I got up to that stage and you know, I was like, we were doing our RO walkthrough, and he's like, yeah, the targets are up on Heartbreak Ridge, and I'm looking around, looking down range, and Tommy's like, over there. Oh, no.
So it's really unique that we have that out there because it adds another flavor to the PRS instead of shooting steady into the wind, you know. So the guys
Right.
seem to like it, and I think the next match is already starting to fill on up.
Yeah, it's
Ooh,
super
okay.
fun. You know, you miss off right, and you see your dust go to the right, and you're like, all right. And you adjust over like half a mil left, so you're on target. And then all of a sudden you're like 3 feet off left.
True that. That's correct. So, but we just finished stacking some sea containers up there, and we just had some law enforcement training here, so we're getting into a lot of that. And Tommy's going to be doing a class here. He's going to be doing a competition class and a sniper class, along with some other classes that Tommy's going to do here too. So look forward to that. Look at our calendar. So, you know, and the whole thing about it, I'll expound on in a minute, is when I went down there to train 12 years ago, they didn't hardly have anything, and I helped them kind of put in what they got. And it's taken me about that long to convince the owners that this is a good thing to do. And now they have really been behind us in giving us support and money to build that range. I mean, Greg, you've come to every one of them so far, and you've seen the changes over a month. They spent over almost $800,000 in gravel in the last 6 months, just so we don't have to drive on mud roads and stuff. I mean,
Okay. So that is huge. If you shot Alabama last year and you saw
Yep.
the tractor pulling people out all day, that is huge.
yeah, they're really supporting us in that, and they understand now the importance because they've seen what, you know, the profitability, and they can turn that money back into it. So they bought me some sea containers, some other things, and some props that we can put out there for our matches.
That's awesome. So, okay, you do the shoot a mile once a month. What started that, and how awesome has it been?
I tell you, it's really been cool because, you know, I like helping people get into the game. I like supporting people, and especially new people, to try to promote our sports and our shooting sports.
Right.
So I moved and we had a 1,000-yard range when I was shooting three gun. Three gun was growing in Texas, where you go down and shoot 700 yards, 100 a place on the property. And I got out to 900 yards, and then one day I was out there and I said, man, this might make a 1,000-yard range. So we made the 1,000-yard range that we currently have.
Right.
And I was 6 months later, I was standing out there on the platform. It was winter time, the leaves were down, and I saw this trailer out there in the middle of a field out there, and I went, wow. And I pulled out my phone. I said, GPS. I said, ooh, that's just a touch over a mile. So at that time, the manager and I went down there, cut 20 trees down, and now I've got a mile out there. So we dug a berm. I put a 2 foot by 4 foot target out there, and we started doing it once a month, where visitors can come and don't have to be members, and shoot a mile, and you get a challenge coin. So about a year after that, we've been doing it about 2.5 years now. About a year after that, I put an MOA target out there, an 18-inch target out there. Believe it or not, people have loved it. And since they loved it, I got a smaller coin that says MOA on it. So you hit that now.
Yeah.
And I've got magnetos all over it. So,
Yeah.
I've had an 8-year-old girl come out. She hit it on her 3rd shot,
Nice.
and that was just cool. Her dad was helping, Tom Branham, his daughter. Had a lot of people who's never even shot before. I mean, I coach it. I spot, coach, and if they miss, I help them get on target. I had a guy out last month. I had him aim at the 3rd branch from the top of the tallest pine because he had a hunting scope, and he hit it. It took him 150 shots, but he hit it.
So is this like anybody can come, but I don't know if you do or not, so you might not, but do y'all have loaner rifles? If somebody's just like, I don't think I could shoot a mile, I don't know about this, but I really want to try, or do they have to have their own equipment?
No, we do have rental guns. We have their 6.5 Creedmoor. That's probably the most common caliber everybody brings. We have 6.5 Creedmoors there that they can rent, and they have to run our ammo in it just for reasons that y'all are aware of. So yes, they can do that, and we get all types. Mitch Cox stops by from Barrett every once in a while, brings something to play with there. We just shot the 416 out there a month or so ago. Shot the new M27 out there. So, call
me next time y'all are doing that.
We do it every month. Oh, you want to come to that one? I'll call you then.
You get a coffee. I'm a Barrett now.
Oh, are you?
That's my last name now. So
that's right. So,
and I got engaged right before SHOT Show last year. And when we went and Barrett found out we had gotten engaged, they took us in the back room and gave us some goodies. So
but it's a lot of fun coaching the people out there and doing that. It's really been a good experience, because I do it once a month around my shooting. I'm kind of like you, Corey. I got a lot of shooting things going on, so I can't do it the 3rd Sunday of every month, So I tell people, if they're interested, look at our calendar at the Clinton House. I do it on Sunday. It's from 9 to 3. You just show up. You don't have to schedule. You don't have to call. It's $75 non-members, or for non-members. Just show up, bring it on out, and I'll help you get on the mile. I mean, and I get these PRS guys. This is funny too. I get these PRS guys go, you can't shoot it with a BR. It won't reach it. 3rd shot, I hit it with my BR the other day. Okay.
Like, what's the
brand new gun?
What's the smallest caliber you ever hit it with?
What's the smallest? 5.56. I hit it with a 5.56. I hit it with a 5.56 February a year ago. Took 39.2 mils, 4.1 mils of wind, shooting Black Hills OTM 77 grain.
Man, I was going to guess 33 mils. I was pretty close.
39.2. Yeah.
Man.
The bullet traveled 140 feet in the air, and it almost didn't have enough velocity to get there, Some people say when that got on Facebook not long ago, somebody goes, oh, there ain't nobody ever shot a mile, but it was 14 witnesses on the stand. We were getting ready for the Vortex sniper match up in Coleman Creek. We were getting ready for it. And when I did it, because I was shooting secondary, my partner goes, I shoot that mile target while it's out there. I said, so, but I run a JP 20-inch barrel and a lead star frame. So.
Yep. Very cool.
If anybody has the itch, they want to go shoot a mile, they've never done it, you don't even have to have a gun. You just need to, if somebody wants to look into it though, that's not local and doesn't know, what's the website?
The ClintonHouse.net. ClintonHouse. I think it's .net or .com. I can't remember. I'm not on it right now. Just look it up. Or they can give me a call or message me. Most people are social media. Pop me a message. I'll help you out any way I can. So I think the next one's the 9th of July, the next mile day.
Oh yeah, weekend after the 4th.
Yeah, fireworks.
Ah,
See,
I
but you
like
gotta
it.
get that challenge going, that's the whole thing, So it's
No,
come get
that's
that
so
challenge
cool
going.
though.
We've had people travel I've had people from Oklahoma. It's a lot of people from Florida, but people come from,
Oh,
some guys flew in from Oklahoma, couldn't find a place to shoot a mile. They flew in and wanted to shoot the mile. I just had a guy call me from New York, coming down to the next one.
huh.
Yeah. So the word's getting out there, and it's, come and join us. Jennifer, I got to get you up there. I want to see you do it.
I know. I've hit a mile before, but that was with a 3:38, wasn't it?
The mile was a 6:5:47.
That's pretty good.
I think it was a 3:38. It was 6:5:47.
That's nice.
And I mean, I hit it first shot, I think. I got up there and I was like, I don't know if I'll hit this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we shoot 5 shooters at a time. We cycle through. We have 2 prone positions and 3 benches, and we shoot 5 shooters at a time and cycle through so the guns won't get hot and stuff. But it's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. It's very interesting. So
You invited us out there to do this, I think 2 SHOT shows ago. We're gonna do it one day. Get out there, get some video shooting a mile.
what you need to do is bring the show up there, and we can do it. I'll put it up on a Tuesday evening and do it a little earlier, and we can do it, and y'all can do the show from there.
Done. It's a deal.
Corey's gonna fly out for a Tuesday night.
No, Corey doesn't fly.
You don't
But he'll be
fly?
on the show.
You don't fly, Corey?
I have a fear of heights, and the last time I went flying, I was behind the airplane to control things.
Hmm.
It was a lot better like that. It was a lot better when I had the controls. That was nice.
So you don't want to go shoot hogs out of a helicopter with me? Because I really want to do that sometime.
You know I do, Jennifer.
Why
do you do this?
He's like, oh gosh.
Why do you do
What's
this?
worse, the fear of heights or the not getting to shoot hogs out of a helicopter?
For those of you who are listening to us on the podcast, you should go back and watch this video on Facebook. Corey's face is profusely sweating right now. As his brain's overheating.
Greg, it's 100 degrees outside in Texas right now. Mike, will you tell Greg about rotor washing really hot air? Oh.
Anyway, we're about at the midpoint of the show. Remember, if you're watching us live on Facebook, ask any questions you may have in the comment section of the video. We'll ask it live on air. Other ways to catch us, you can always check back on the Shooter's Mindset Facebook page. The videos stay up there forever. We usually upload to all the podcast apps the night after the show. And then finally, everything eventually ends up on the Shooter's Mindset YouTube page. So that's a great place to go back and look up past episodes.
Hey, Greg, I got to do this. When y'all posted it today and I shared it, that we were going to be on here tonight, half the people answered, said, how many times he going to say, huh? So I got to say, huh? Because I have got my hearing aids in tonight, so everybody goes, well, that ain't gonna be a good show because he's gonna say huh all the time,
Are they the Bluetooth ones? Do they Bluetooth the music and everything?
I'm listening to you through them right now. Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Pops
I'm
knows
listening
those.
to
He
them.
loves them.
Yeah, you got to have them when you, like me again, and can't hear. And when I used to shoot back in the Marine Corps, I had to roll cigarette butts up and put them in my ears. That's the way that was our hearing protection back in. So.
Oh, Lord. No wonder.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I have a question and I want you to answer it twofold from 2 different perspectives, because you've been around the sports, all the sports, a long time. And so I want to hear from a shooter perspective and from a match director perspective.
okay.
What makes a good match?
From the shooter's perspective, that I can walk away, have fun, enjoy it, be challenging, but yet be where I'm having fun too, not timing out. I'm not stressed over a stage. I can walk away and say, that was a tough stage, but I got through it. I managed it. I ate up a lot of time, but I just didn't kill myself on it. From a match director's view, I've always said, and I've built a lot of matches. I've always said I build matches for their 50%. I take the middle shooter. I let the fast guys like Corey bash it out with their guns. Let them, let them get through the stages, but
Yeah.
let their times dictate who the winner is. Don't try to make all the young guys time out to make it tough on Corey and Greg. Let everybody have fun. So I build my matches around, or when I did, I don't do no more. I build them around the 50% shooter. I want them to enjoy it because they're the ones who want to come back.
Oh yeah. I couldn't agree more.
Does that answer your question? I mean, is that kind of, and I
Yeah.
like the, even as a shooter, I like the 50% matches because, I can get through it and I look over at somebody, Mike Willis or ever who I'm shooting with and say, we discussing times. How'd you do? I did that, but this and that. I didn't have to worry about, I wasn't going in sweating. I can remember when I started shooting 3-gun, I worried about timing out all the time and that wasn't fun.
It's a totally
Yeah.
different thought process when you go from 3-gun to PRS, because in 3-gun you have FTEs, a failure to engage. So in that one, if I thought I was about to time out, I was like slamming some rounds down range to stay out of range to them, so I wouldn't get a 15-second penalty. It would just be a 5 for a miss, not a 15 for a failure to engage. So I was like slinging some lead, right? And so you get into PRS and like at the, time was running out and I started going faster and people are like, why are you going so fast at the end? You could have slowed down and hit that. And I'm like, but yeah, you're right. That makes no sense in this sport.
Tommy got on to me. I hadn't shot PRS in last year. I didn't shoot any last year. And I went down to Edgefield, shoot one of Tommy's matches down in Edgefield down there at Camp David. And I got on the first stage, buddy, and it was boom, 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 boom. I cleaned the stage, but he said, man, you still got 60 seconds left.
Yeah.
It really, it's hard to do both, and it's challenging to try to teach yourself to slow down a little bit in PRS, like you say, Jennifer. It's tough. So, but it proves your skills.
As far as PRS matches now, or as far as long range matches, do you prefer traditional PRS matches or like sniper matches, like the team sniper matches, Coleman's Creek, those, which do you like better?
I like them both, and I know that didn't answer your question. I mean, I really like them both because, 2 years ago, I liked the sniper matches. I like the Vortex. I like Mammoth. I mean, I shot all those. I've been through all those. I really had a good time. We've done very well in them with my partner, Mark Link, at the time. But as I've gotten older, my knees and stuff can't take the sniper matches. Okay, so the PRS fulfills that, and I've really, since I've shot more of that and got into the heavier guns, the lower recoil, the managing and that stuff, this is fun. You guys can't see me. If you look behind me, I've got my 419, I've got my V4. PRS has cost me a lot of money this year.
You can always make more of that.
But to answer your question, 2 years ago, I would say it's totally sniper team matches. This year, PRS. PRS is a lot of fun. A lot of good people in it too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a growing sport. I think, to me, I don't know, y'all might know more than I do because you talk to a lot of people. I see it out here as probably one of the fastest shooting sports growing right now.
Okay. So along with that, where do you see the PRS in 5 years?
If it keeps going like it is, I see it just kind of like 3-gun. I mean, I went through this with 3-gun when they went 3-gun.
Right. And that's why I asked.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I see it growing. Like right now, Tommy and I started, and we got a friend of ours helps us, Jeff Bouchard. We got the only PRS sanctioned match in South Carolina right now. I can't believe South Carolina's waited this long or somebody to have a sanctioned centerfire match in it. So we kind of started the first one, Tommy brought it on. And I see a couple years down the road, we have 4 or 5 clubs,
So kind of backing up just a little bit, when we say you saw a 3-gun explode, you saw a 3-gun go from Soldier of Fortune, there's maybe 5 matches a year, to 3-Gun Nation on TV, and you were part of the 3-Gun Nation series.
Right.
So, I mean, do you see the PRS being able to kind of catch that level of audience where it's on outdoor channel or even maybe even a streaming site now? But do you see the PRS is able to do what Three Gun did and make it? It wasn't quite mainstream, but it was kind of on the getting there.
Yes, kinda. And what I mean by
Okay.
yes, what I mean by yes, kinda, in PRS, there's action, but it's not as much, it's not, there's a difference in the action to me. I think,
Okay.
you know, Three Gun, there was a whole lot going on, whole lot of action, you know, one
Right.
little mistake, you were out of it, you know. In PRS, you're going to shoot 10 rounds or 12 or whatever the
Mhm.
stage is. If you miss, oh, well, there's no action. Oh, I missed when I got to, you know, I'll clean out the next stage. But Three Gun, you make that kind of buff, you're not, you're done. You're not going to
Yeah.
win the match.
Yeah.
So I do see it being able to stream, and you know, I'm looking forward to Tom coming here. You know, the guys from Shooting USA is going to be here with that,
Mhm.
so it's going to be involved with it. But I do see it with the Armageddon Cup and maybe you know, with the Pro Side series of it growing into that. I don't know how you would make it Three Gun Nationist. I guess is not a
Right.
word.
But if you think about it, like I'm not much of a sports person, but there's a lot of people that watch golf on the television. And I don't know why people watch golf on television. It looks to be
Me
the
either, Greg.
boring
Me
thing
either.
in the world.
It
As
is.
somebody whose paychecks comes from people playing golf, I I don't get it. So how do we get the golf people to watch PRS? We have to clap silent, like clap like this or something?
Somebody's got to take the bull by the horns and do it. I think there's an opportunity there, guys. I mean, Corey, just what you were saying. I think that right now, I mean, you know, Shooting USA is kind of tied down with streaming. There's
Mhm.
only a couple of streaming channels that get Shooting USA, you know, so
Right.
somebody's got to take the bull by the horns. I think it would if they get out here and start filming it and start doing it and putting it on there, people will watch it.
Right. No, I've seen some really good post-match videos, and not just one, like a series of kind of recap videos and stuff like that. But the most interesting thing I've seen has been the through scope view, where you've got the camera on the back of the scope, and you can picture in picture as the shooter goes through the stage and see what they're seeing, because that's what you had with Three Gun Nation. That's why they had those big targets. You could see even the rifle, right? You see the plates falling. And that's what the PRS has been kind of lacking is you can't equate to it like golf, where they have the camera 300 yards away and you see the little ball go in the hole. So seeing that in that kind of video format of the picture in picture and following the shooter and seeing what they did and why they missed or why they hit or the correction they made, that has been interesting to me. I just
But
don't know if it's been Three Gun Nation.
Yeah, like a lot of our coverage that we did of the Vortex series last year,
Mhm.
it was learning and we were struggling and mixing everything up, but where we were able to get videos where you have the active shooter, especially in the sniper style match where they're, you know,
Right.
running down a trail, multiple camera angles, you get them running down, then you get them coming this way, and then as they pull out their gun, all of a sudden there's the targets popping up in the corner of the screen, you see them fall down.
Right.
We got
That
some
was just me and Greg doing that. I mean, there's a lot of smarter people out there, I'm sure, that have a whole crew that could make it like really professional, you know?
yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Jennifer. But you know, I'll tell you something, Corey. Go back to what you're saying. When Three
Okay.
Gun Nation started up, if you'll
Mhm.
remember, they started doing some Shooting USA shows about Three Gun.
Right.
That's what kicked them off and running. We don't see that in PRS. How many shows you saw, or
Right.
you know, where somebody goes and says, because I get people come to me all the time and say, "Hey, I want to shoot PRS, but I know nothing about it. How do we get
Yes,
shows that,
exactly.
you know, that we need a show that somebody goes out and you know, does PRS training or positions, show them that what PRS is about."
Right. I've seen a few companies start this. So not to get too sidetracked, but JP did a 7-part series of getting into that hunter competition dynamic style thing, where
Right.
they did the sport, what is it, what gear do you need, and you know, it split it up into like a 5-minute video. But I agree. I think that style of thing that's every question you answer for the new guy when he comes out to the match. Like,
Right.
what do I need to bring? You know, how far are the targets? Will this work? All of that stuff in a video where you can just reference it over and over. 8 people can make different videos. You're never going to have too many people answering the question. But I think it's a good idea because it gets people where they can on their own time figure out what it is and they have a visual and see, oh, this is exciting, right? But just like you're saying, you have to start with that local thing, right? And the PRS has, I mean, like you're saying, a pretty strong local, or we'll call it one day segment, right? So that was the other part of Three Gun Nation that I was excited about, was they had their local matches, their regional matches. It wasn't all just about the big, you know,
TV show.
multi-gun nationals, right? So do you think, I guess the thing that I struggle with is, do you think the PRS can scale to that level in 5 years? Because it takes a lot for a range, right?
It could be. It could be huge in 5 years. Because if anything happens, and we hope it don't, that, you
Yeah.
know, with our people up there, wherever, and I won't get into that, but bolt guns are going to be available. And bolt guns right now, people can get it. That's what people don't understand about the PRS side. I told some guys the other day, come and sign up for Tommy's match. If you don't have anything but a rifle, that's all you need with some ammo. Get on my squad. You can use any bag, any tripod, any bipod that I got.
Yes, right.
You know, I mean, that's what my sponsors support me about. It's not for me to use all this. I got to let the guys
Exactly.
that might buy it use it, you know? So, you know, and if anybody's watching this or whatever, if you want to come and shoot one of our matches and you don't have any shooters bags, tripods, or none of that, just tell me. I'll loan it to you. You know, I'll take it out of my truck and loan it to you. It's not a big deal. Come and shoot the sport and try it. But that's the thing. They don't know what they need to get into it. You know?
I would say across the country, any match director would say the same thing. Like if somebody's out in Utah and so they can't come to Clinton House to see you, if they found a PRS match, I guarantee you, if they reached out to that match director and said, all I have is a gun and ammo, I don't have anything else, I know nothing, I bet you money that match director would say, just show up and you can use all of our stuff.
Exactly.
Jen, I will raise you one. The best thing we ever did to get people into PRS was we have an entire loaner setup, just show up. And Mike, if you've got those for the 1 mile, for the PRS, it's a 6.5 Creedmoor. It is a game changer just to be able to have someone show up. They don't need anything. You literally use a QR code. So they pull up an app on their phone, or you can give them their dope all day if you're squatted with it. But it's so easy compared to 3-gun.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to shoot Tommy's match or any of the matches I'm in, I've got extra Kestrels. I'll rig one up for your gun. It won't take long to do that and show you how to just cycle through it. I mean, it's not a big deal, you know, but that's how we're going to get the sport growing in 5 years. Back to your original question, Corey, is how we get it grow. We got to help new shooters in it and progress along, you know, because the guns are out there. We're selling the guns. It's just people don't know what to do with them. You know, they want to go shoot,
right.
You know.
And I think the other thing, then this is a smaller audience, but the match directors designing the match around that 50% shooter, where the guy that's new can also hit the targets. I'm not saying he's going to hit all of them, and I'm not saying, you know, he's the perfect win caller. But let's say a guy is giving him his win, he can at least hit that target, given unlimited time, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that I haven't been on a squad yet, and Greg's been here. We've had a pretty ugly storm that first match, and I seen more people. That was an understatement, wasn't it, Greg?
I've bitched about it enough on the show that they're just going to give me crap, but it was the worst weather I've ever been outside for.
It was one of the worst I've ever shot in. 4.5 inches of rain in one day. But, you know, I see more people taking gear out of their car with it raining like that and give it to new shooters, because that was the first sanctioned match we had here for that match. It didn't care whether it got wet or not. They just wanted that new shooter to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will say, if you have a regional club match near you, they're good. Like our 22 matches that Greg does, if there's a new shooter, that match is small enough that if they're like taking their time and they've gotten like 4 hits off, by the time the timer goes off, we're like, okay, well, you're not getting any more points, but like finish the stage. Go ahead and walk yourself
Yeah.
through it because there's time. A big match with 200 shooters, like you feasibly can't do that, or everybody will be out there at midnight trying to shoot. But those smaller club matches, if you have one, they're so invaluable because you can go and people will have the time to really work with you. And I just really think that's a good way. If it's
fantastic. Yeah. And the best thing we've seen is if you take someone after their last stage and you just say, hey, I saw you struggle with this stage. You've been doing really well all day, but try this on this stage and just reshoot it. And they go from like a 2 to a 6. That like gets them back, right?
Also, what I was going to say is talking about the future and like y'all were talking about golf and having it on TV. Like, why do I think that like in a decade or maybe sooner, the applied ballistics guys will have some sort of technology that can trace the bullet like they trace the golf balls on the TV? You know how they do?
Yeah. Like hockey did with the blue puck, right?
You know, why do I think applied ballistics? I might be sending a challenge out. Why do I think they might be able to come up with something to be able to trace that?
You know,
that'd be cool.
They might need to hire somebody that's done something like that before.
Maybe they should.
That might be a real good idea.
Right?
If Francis worked there, I'm like, that could be a possibility, and that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Imagine watching that sneak up and being able to see the trace through the air and like be able to tell, oh, it's going to hit the target, or no, it's not. Like that would make for really exciting TV.
Oh, Jen, you were talking to the guy that watches like 3 accounts on Instagram that are nothing but animal shots, watching the waves fly.
Those are the greatest videos.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
It'd be interesting. There's your job, Jennifer, you wanted, you know.
I don't think I'm smart enough for that job. I can save your life, but I don't think I can radar a bullet. That might take one Francis Cologne and some smart people at AB.
and for those that don't understand what we're talking about, that used to be Francis's job in golf, and now he works for Applied Ballistics. So, Mike, what is your favorite type of match to host?
To host at the Clinton House, or
just in general? Like if I said, hey, you only get to host one more match, what's it going to be?
Man, that's put me in a bind. I would say if I could host it, probably be a PRS match right now. You know, because it's really fun with those targets out there in different places to see the people and what their thought process it is to accomplish that stage right now.
That's my favorite thing about PRS is watching how people do them so different.
Mm-hmm.
And 3-gun, people will sometimes do them in a different order. Or USPSA, they sometimes will attack it a little different. But for the most part, there's usually one really efficient way to shoot it. And yeah, PRS, if you sit there and watch it, man, that first AG Cup, the PRS barricade, watching how everybody did it different. Some of them taking their bipod because they had money on the line and they didn't want to miss. And so they were taking their bipods and putting them on the thing with a tripod as a rear support. Then you had the ones that were like, I'm just going for speed. And they were like, you know, just speeding through with one bag and watching.
Now you bring up the worst problem. I'm not a, you know, and I'm jumping back on it, Jennifer, you said the PRS barricade. You know, there we go back to what we were talking about earlier. I'll shoot the PRS barricade. I think it's a great tiebreaker. But immediately when I go to the match, I know I have no chance of even, I'm probably not anyway, because I'm not as good at PRS as I am 3-gun, but I don't have no chance in hell of even doing good on that stage. Because I'm 69 years old, I'm out here doing this. My first position's on my knees and I can't get up. So I have to hold on the barricade to get up. So I've got to shoot, grab myself, maybe even leave my gun or a little minute, get up, shoot up, go back down. why don't we make something that's equal across the board that a 6-year-old could do and an 80-year-old can do?
Mike, just use the top. That's what I do.
I think you get penalized, don't you?
No, but it's a good point, right?
I mean, make
Um,
something that's equal across the board for everybody. And that's the only thing that I
Right.
see. I don't mind getting down. If I go to the stumps, I've got stumps out here. If I go to the
Mhm.
stumps, then I know I need to make the one I got to get down on, even if I have to go past it, my last position. I'm not as much at a disadvantage as I am shooting that barricade, because my first position doesn't have to be down, but I've got to go down twice and I can't get up with my knees.
You guys
Right.
did really good on those stumps, by the way. I loved shooting that stage both days last month.
Yeah, the stumps are fun.
Yep.
I like
I guess I shot it the same way you did, right to left, where you're walking backwards, but you're going down.
Exactly. So, but I think they ought to come up with some type of tiebreaker way that everybody has an equal chance of accomplishing that. Because I know if I go the tiebreaker, I'm going to be 60 seconds on it, where some of these guys are 30 seconds because they're very fast. There's no different 3-gun. You got Daniel Horner out here. Nobody's going out and run Daniel Horner. But
Right.
if it's long range in a match, I might have a chance against him.
Yeah.
Because I shoot a
Well,
lot
What
longer.
about-
that brings up. Yeah,
What
that's
about-
another thing. But if the Three Gun Nation and USPSA, they had different classifiers that would kind of be suited to different strengths. And the PRS barricade is, it's 4 positions. It's kind of a speed thing. But if they had, let's call it, they had 10 different classifiers a year, where they're all kind of different and they're not all just 10 positions or go down lay prone. Maybe you have even heights, like you're saying. You get a different kind of representation of what the sport is, and match directors can integrate more stuff into their matches.
Yeah,
Well,
I
and
agree with that.
you've got a lot of military guys that have handicaps right now. I'm not saying that because, there's a lot of people in general, not just military guys. That, well, why handicap somebody? We want those guys, they want to do something. They want to come out and shoot for enjoyment. But, everybody has that, I want to win, that competitive attitude, so make something that's equal across the board. Anyway, I've said enough on that.
Or even
That's just
something.
like girls that can't reach. Well, not just girls. There are some guys that are short, but there are times that I can't reach. I've had a couple of stages that I was like, I'm not going to shoot that position. It is not safe for me to shoot it because I'm having to balance on a bag on my toes, and like I'm going to fall. And there are times that you just can't reach, or like whenever you got to crawl up in the back of a deuce, like Corey and Greg. They could just take, one of their big old size 13s and slap it up there and hop up in the truck with their gun in their hand.
Well,
Not
just
me.
hardcore parkour. You have a
I'm having
17-pound bag and you have a 22-pound gun, and you just jump up, Jen. Come
Yeah,
on.
and a magazine, because a lot of them you got to load it in position. So you're sitting there and I'm getting up there, put the gun down and the bag down, trying to hoist myself up in this truck, then pick the gun up, then go up there and get my position. By then 30 seconds has gone by and I'm like, well,
Now, I don't know if you know Heidi, but she shoots with us. We got some short girls that shoot with us. She's got a gun box she stands on because she's very handicapped in some of the things that I'm talking about for us. So,
Yeah.
but she makes the best use of it to shoot well in it,
Yep.
So
That has gotten better. Years ago, it was worse, I felt like.
Mhm.
I agree with you.
We had one
know-
that was a friend she was very vocal about, this is not right. Because even though you can stand on a box, they were making her put the box in place on the clock. Well, then by the time she, has to hold all that, get one in there. And
Yeah.
it's one
That's
thing.
not fair.
Like, a lot of match directors now have a box that they have sitting there and they'll just put it in place if someone short is coming along.
Yep.
So that I do
Yeah.
think is fair then at that point. I don't care if I have to step up on a box, but having to drag the box over and
Yeah,
like
that's
hold it
not-
in your hands at the start, to me, that's not fair, but
Mhm.
I agree. So, but
Mike, which of the shooting sports do you think is one of the best ways to draw new shooters into competitive shooting in general? Whether it's long range or steel challenge or 22.
well, I think all of them, because they all have their own versatility and they all have their own unique reason that people want to shoot it. People are fascinated or with three gun because, oh man, I got a shotgun, I got a pistol, I got a rifle. But PRS, mostly everybody has some form of a bolt gun at home that they hunt with, that they do something with, that they can come and shoot PRS with. So, to say one over the other, I really think any of them will help the sport grow. Just get people into shooting,
Yeah.
So
one interesting thing that's happened in Texas. So Texas three gun, the range is kind of open throughout the year, and they left the stages up. And if you remember Three Gun Nation, you would see a lot of stuff on social media. Well, a lot of like influencers around the area have been using the stages for videos. And it's just like you would expect. It's three gun, but they're, maybe cutting off this part, or they're just using a shotgun on the jungle run or something, but it's exciting. And I wish they would just say, this is the three gun match, or this is from this three gun match,
But two guns taking a hold now too. DMR is growing all around the country in the standard two gun. I mean, it's growing pretty fast too, because it leaves the shotgun out. People don't want to quad load. When I started three gun, we were loading off of a armband, and we call it pick and load. You pick load, pick load. It wasn't a musket for you people watching out there, okay? But then we went to the underhand load, and then now these guys are loading 8 rounds in under 8 seconds. Just shoving them things in. So people are wanting to get away from the shotgun a little bit because of that. They don't want to practice with it in the garage. So two guns taking off a little bit around here too. It's growing quite fast also.
I agree with two gun, but do you think people don't like the shotgun because of the loading, or do you think it's the 40 and 50 round shotgun on stages where you just have to load the whole time? Do you think so? For example, like a 12 round shotgun stage, that's one load for the tag guys, right? You're special. You've got a 20 round mag. Yeah. But do you think bringing the shotgun kind of back to what it was meant to be would solve that? Because I agree, two guns awesome, because I don't spend the whole stage loading the shotgun and burning my hand on the barrel.
Oh,
but
just
if we get,
load, Corey.
I would have said that a year ago, Corey, but not now. And,
okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because people are now, if you buy a Benelli or whatever, you're going to time you get somebody to do it, you've got $3,000 in it. Time you buy a Dissident, you don't have much more in it. We have gone from 20 to 25 open shooters in major three gun matches now. And I think Memorial or the Battle of the South, I think had 80 something open shooters. They had more open than they did tac ops now.
Damn.
People are finding out dots are the way to go.
Yeah, open's taken off. And part of it is dots on pistols, right? A lot of it's dots on pistol. But the other part of it is, Texas three gun, 20, 21, 22, both those years, I shot, like you're saying, with a distant, because shit, dude, it's more fun to shoot than load.
and you got a dot on everything,
Yeah. The dot on the pistol, man. Let's go.
But I think two guns taking off a little bit. I mean, we're seeing it increase around here. Of course, DMR, 700 and in, is doing real well. But those two are growing pretty strong here too.
Okay. Yeah, two gun, that might be my favorite.
Learn how to load, Corey. I do have a video on YouTube that describes how to quad load if you need it.
Jennifer Barrett, I am going to tag you in my practice tonight, my dry fire of me loading. Okay. And we're going to issue a challenge. You beat me and you can tell me how to learn to load.
Can I speed it up? I'm going to video myself.
You can speed yours up as fast as you
want.
And
then I'm going to speed it up.
Speeding it up doesn't count if you drop one. Loading 3 when you mean to load 4. We've all
done yard sale. Just throw them on the ground.
Hey, I used to be load 2, grab 4.
One of my favorite shotgun stages ever. It was somewhere in South Carolina, was having like a 3-gun match that was like a outlaw. I can't remember. I want to say it was up near Chesterfield. Anyway, I went for the day to it, and Rocky Patel was there. I'll never forget. And when I went to the shotgun stage, I put on my chest rig and I had my Invictus, all of it was an all shotgun stage. And he laughed at me. If he's listening, he'll tell you that he laughed at me. He was like, "Jen, you think you got enough shotgun shells?" Well, he went before me, and guess what?
He ran out.
Shooting, and he went to loading and dropped shells all in the mud. It had rained. It was so like you can't shoot that now that it's like stinking in the mud, right? He dropped a bunch. And he gets to the end and he was out and he's like trying to dig in the mud and see which one is the least amount. And I just looked at him and I was like, huh, so you need to pour some?
You need some of these?
No, you know what I would have done? I would have walked over, held my belt out for him to throw.
Here we are talking PRS and then add shotgun to it. That's the next thing. PRS shotgun, right?
I am so in. I'm in 100%. Let's do it.
I'm out.
I'm not sure about PRS shooters with pistols. Like not all of them, but some of them. I don't really want to throw a pistol in the mix. But a shotgun, that'd be fun.
Mike, there's going to be at least 3 people at this match. Me, you, and Jen. But we need to make that happen.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'm gonna head over to lives real quick. We had a couple people say that DMR is a great place to start. I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna come and shoot one of y'all's DMR matches. I got a box of stuff that needs to turn into a gun at some point for that. William wants to know what Mike's favorite firearm is, and if he could only shoot one from this point forward, what would it be?
My AR-15. If that was the only thing I could shoot, it would be my AR-15. You know, because you can shoot them long range, you can shoot them short range. It don't have to be the big badass gun anymore.
Yeah.
And he also asked, what was your very first match you ever shot?
Whoa, I don't even know if I remember that. Somewhere in mid 90s, late kind of 96, 97, somewhere around there. And I think I shot it with a Kimber CDP 45 caliber, and it was a makeshift IDPA match at the local Spartanburg Gun Club here.
Nice. So fishing vest and all?
Do what?
Said you bust out your fishing vest for that one?
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh,
that is an incredible level of detail. I'm blown away still.
William also said a preloaded shotgun prop to start a stage with a spinner.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Spinners are not, I'm not a spinner fan, you know.
Why not, Mike?
I don't know. There's something about a spinner. It doesn't prove anything. It's who can bring the baddest gun with the biggest choke with the largest lid behind the shotgun, you know. Or
Perfect. I got some goose loads left over from the season.
I think if everybody shot the same gun at it, it would be more challenging. So it should be a stage gun on a spinner. You know?
Yeah.
I'm surprised PRS ain't picked it up yet, started putting it out there.
We did a spinner, and you had to shoot. If you shot a popper behind the spinner, you got an extra point. You can't do it anymore, but we did it once.
Yeah. Most ranges won't let you have it because if you shoot the top, the round goes out of range.
But if you make the bottom bigger, no one shoots the top.
Have you met PRS shooters? They're traditionally stubborn, and someone's going to be like, but I want to see if I can hit it.
Mm-hmm. Stubborn. Yep.
I should have never brought that up. It'll be in Tommy's next match. You watch.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So we kind of talked about this earlier, and I feel bad, but I have to ask this to everyone. If you can only pick one, hunting or competition, what are you going to pick?
Competition.
I figured. Easy. That's fair.
I mean, we're all so competitive, especially when you get to shooting people. We're all competitive, and anybody says there ain't, it's crazy.
Even in hunting, they're competitive. Who got how many coyotes? Who got the bigger deer? Who got the bigger fish? Like it's
You know what you think?
The bigger beer? What?
The bigger beer.
Back to
Yeah, it must have been the Germany drinking mosses, you know.
always
But I just think that competitive shooting is just, it's brought the shooting sport And look what competitive shooting's done for the gun world. I mean, the competitive shooters is what's
Right.
made the improvements to what the military is using today.
Mhm.
So, you know, competitive shooting by far.
Yeah, I agree. Well, what do you think, Greg? Should we ask about the other side stage, the shooting prairie dogs?
That would be a fun side stage.
Exactly.
Talk about going to matches for travel. The best match I ever shot was out in New Mexico because we did a day of prairie hunt or prairie dog hunting before. And I still think my favorite photo is we're following behind a friend and I start seeing the rifles come out of the truck as we're in the field. I see a prairie dog die at about 50 yards. And everyone in my truck goes, wait a second. And then they start shooting.
That would be fun now. Uh-huh.
Oh,
Just
We'll have to see if we
prairie
can do that.
I had never seen one. Then I went out west. I want to say it was Oklahoma whenever I went to the finale in Oklahoma. But I was like, dude, that's a prairie dog. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, I've shot the steel ones forever, but like we don't have prairie dogs in South Carolina that I've seen. So
Not right now, we don't.
it was fascinating to me to see them. It was
Yeah.
funny. Do we have any more
live?
lives?
Yeah.
We are good on the live side.
All right. Well, I think we can wind it down to shout outs then. We will start with Corey.
well, I'm going to shout out Mike, and I'm not doing this every episode, I promise. But Mike is one of those guys that when you see on the range, he's always helpful. And he's always, as a match director, fair. Yeah, no matter what, you will never go to Mike's match and have a bad call. He will always be an awesome guy to the shooters. So thank you for that, Mike.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Greg, what you got?
We got GSL suppressors, make the 22s like super fun. Hunter's HD Gold, help my blind self see targets. And then PDC Custom for my beautiful lime green rifle chassis back there.
Fun. Mike, what you got?
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me on board. It was fun. It was a great way to spend an evening. I hadn't seen you guys in a long time. I saw Greg recently, but I hadn't seen you guys in a long time. And I hope soon, Jennifer, we're going to get you out. I know when you got married and all, it's time now. You've been married over a year. Get out, get them guns available. Come out and join us, guys. It was a total pleasure being with you guys tonight.
It's been fun. Well, and I want to shoot you. I don't want to shoot you.
How many beers do you have, Jen?
Oh, no, day. Oh my God. That was stressful at work. Okay. I want to shout you out also because you're always such a good ambassador of the sport. Always. I mean, I go, don't see you for a year or sometimes even two and then see you and it's like seeing an old friend. I mean, just, hey, how you doing? And you're just like that with everybody. It's not, some people are like that because we do the shooter's mindset, which I still don't understand because we're not that big of a deal. But but you're never like that. You were like that with everybody, not just us. And I do love that about you. And then I also want to shout out Masterpiece Arms because you'll hear a lot more about this in the next 6 weeks, but they're gonna be our title sponsor, helping us get to Italy to be able to help cover the IPRF. So
Nice.
Congratulations.
I'm going to start shouting them out every week because they deserve it for helping us out. So anyway, and with that, that'll be a wrap for episode 410, and we will see everybody next time.
Thank y'all, guys.
Thank you, Mike.